I travel to Prague, a city in the Czech Republic, with my family. It is my husband, me, and our 2 children. Before we arrive, I explain to the kids that Prague is in Central Europe and that it is famous for castles, old streets, and fairy tale buildings. My daughter says, "So it's like a storybook city?" I smile and say, "Yes, that's a perfect way to think about it." When we land in Prague, the air feels cool and fresh. It feels calmer than many big cities we've visited before. As we walk through the airport, my son looks around and says, "It feels old but clean." My husband nods and says, "That's Europe for you." At passport control, the officer looks at our family and smiles. He asks, "Is this your first time in Prague?" I answer, "Yes, we're here with our children." He replies, "Then welcome. Prague is very good for families." That makes me feel relieved. On the drive to the hotel, I sit next to the window and watch the city pass by. Red roofs, stone buildings, narrow streets. I quietly tell the kids, many of these buildings are hundreds of years old. My daughter's eyes get wide and she says, "People really lived here that long ago?" I say, "Yes, and they walked these same streets." After checking into our hotel, we decide to go out for a short walk. The kids are tired, but curiosity wins. We walk through the old town, and everything feels magical. Cobblestone streets stretch in every direction. Street musicians play soft music. My son points at a clock tower and asks, "What is that?" I say, "That's the astronomical clock. It's one of the oldest working clocks in the world." A local guide nearby hears us and adds, "It's been telling time since the 1400s. My daughter whispers, "That's older than everything I know." Soon, we stop for our first Czech meal. We sit down at a traditional restaurant with wooden tables. The waiter comes over and asks, "Would you like to try some Czech food?" I answer, "Yes, but we're with children. What do you recommend?" He smiles and says, "Then you should try goulash, dumplings, and sausages. Very popular." My husband looks at the kids and asks, "Are you willing to try?" My son says, "I'll try one bite." My daughter nods seriously. When the food arrives, the kids are curious. My daughter takes a bite of dumpling and says, "It's soft and good." My son tries the sausage and says, "I like this more than I thought." I feel happy watching them discover new flavors. The next morning, we visit Prague Castle. I tell the kids, "This is one of the largest castle complexes in the world." My son says, "So kings lived here?" I answer, "Yes, kings, queens, and presidents." As we walk through the castle grounds, a guard in uniform stands very still. My daughter whispers, "Is he real or a statue?" My husband laughs quietly and says, "Very real." A guide explains the history slowly so the children can understand. She says, "This castle has protected the city for over 1,000 years." The kids listen more closely than I expected. Later, we cross Charles Bridge together. I explain that the bridge is famous for its statues and views of the river. My son starts counting statues while walking. My daughter stops to look at artists drawing portraits. An artist asks her, "Would you like me to draw you?" She looks at me for permission. I say, "Would you like that?" She nods excitedly. While she sits, the artist chats kindly and asks, "Do you like Prague?" She answers proudly, "Yes." It feels like a fairy tale. In the afternoon, we explore local shops. The kids see wooden toys, marionette puppets, and glass decorations. I explain that Czech crystal is famous all over the world. A shop owner shows the kids hand-painted puppets. My son asks, "Did people really play with these?" The owner replies, "Yes. Puppets are a traditional Czech art." The kids each choose a small wooden toy. They feel proud choosing souvenirs by themselves. The next day, we visit a cultural center where children can try traditional Czech clothing. The staff helps dress the kids in simple folk outfits. My daughter spins around and laughs. My son looks at himself and says, "I look like I'm from another time." A woman explains that these clothes were worn during festivals and celebrations. I take photos while the kids pose happily. After that, the kids join a small traditional game activity. They try old-style wooden games that Czech children used to play. No screens, no batteries. My husband says quietly, "They're actually focused." I smile and nod. One instructor explains, "Children played like this long before phones." My daughter says, "I like this better sometimes." For lunch, we stop at a small cafe. The waiter asks the kids directly, "What would you like to drink?" My son answers, "Apple juice, please." I feel proud hearing him speak confidently. We share pancakes with fruit, and everyone is happy. In the evening, we take a short boat ride on the Vltava River. The city looks golden as the sun goes down. My daughter leans against me and says, "I don't want to forget this." I tell her, "You won't. This kind of memory stays." On our last day, we return to the old town square. Street performers are everywhere. A man plays traditional music, and the kids start clapping. The performer smiles and asks, "Do you like Czech music?" My son answers, "Yes, it sounds happy." Before leaving, we sit together and talk about our favorite moments. The castle, the bridge, the food, the games, the clothes. As we head to the airport, my daughter asks, "Can we visit another old city next time?" My husband looks at me and smiles. I answer, "Yes, we'll keep exploring together." I realize that Prague gave our children more than sightseeing. It gave them history, imagination, and joy. And for a family trip, that feels perfect.